Across the Western world this Friday, expect protests, some turning into riots all over the Western world. Yes, it's just been announced on a Telegram group from Hamas, talking about what's been happening with Gaza and Israel. Very, very hot potato at the moment, and it's not about sides. I don't choose any sides. I'm just me, and I don't side with anyone. Don't forget, the most fundamental lesson to learn by all of this is divide and conquer. Already, we are seeing people who are pro-Israel and pro-Palestine. It's exactly what they want. So try to rise above it. Don't get pulled into it. Don't fall for it. Just observe and learn, because at the end of the day, we are talking about this Friday. Yes, this Friday coming could be a potential freaking nightmare across the entire Western world. This is not fear porn. This is coming down the pipe. And if you haven't heard about this, most people haven't, you really need to start getting ready for this, because if you live in those parts of the world, you could be in big trouble. So what are we expecting to see? We are expecting to see lots of people from the Muslim community and the Islamic community coming together in protest all over major cities over the Western world this Friday. So we've only got a few days away. So if you are in those major capital areas, so New York, London, Paris, all over the place, expect problems. Now, I am expecting to see this being heavily policed. And yes, more often than not, when we see protests, even though they might appear to be peaceful, I'm suspecting these not to be peaceful right from the outset. So I can foresee lots of problems and tempers being frayed, and there's always going to be rental mobs. You know, you get those few people infiltrating these protests and turning it into something far more worse. Like I said, think about it, divide and conquer. All the time, people are divided, this side and this side, you're always going to have this. It's always been like that for a long time, and it's going to continue to go this way all the time. People don't start waking up, looking into themselves and how they get triggered, how they react, and how easily led they are. Once you start going through that process, then you got the fear to go through. Once you start losing the fear, you are more powerful than you realize. You won't believe how crazy the good things start to happen when you lose the fear. It's insane. I recently done a live stream with my friend Jason Brashears on Archaics, and if you haven't seen that, I suggest you watch that, because some of what I'm talking about now is a bit of a deep dive into what I've just mentioned. And if you're interested, I'll put the link to Jason's video under the video, and you can watch that anytime you like. It's really cool. And like I say, not many people really realize how we're being played. And we are being played. All they want is people to argue, and they just rub their hands together and say, look at these idiots. They're tearing each other apart. Do we really need to do that? Have we learned anything for the last 1,000 years or so? Well, we should have by now, if that makes sense. So yes, this Friday, really check out local media and where the urban areas are. I don't suspect any of this in little towns and villages, but you never know. It's just a heads up. This Friday, really make sure that you know what's going on if you live in these densely populated areas, because you could be caught off guard. You could be coming home from work, walk right into it, you don't know what's going on, and it could be something very, very simple of how you're dressed or how you look. You could be in big problems. So we're talking situational awareness. Now, I'm going to be talking about this as we go through this year, because I believe that people really do need to understand what situational awareness actually means. Okay, if you don't know what I'm talking about, do some searches online. If you want to, I'll do a video about it to help people out who just don't know what it is. We really need to be aware, because so many things happen to good people like that. What about those party goers? 250 dead in Israel. There's nothing to do with Israel. They turned up there to have a party and they're all dead now. So we are talking serious stuff. These protests could easily turn into riots. And if you don't know what's going on, you're going to be involved, and you're in big trouble. Head on a swivel. That's what our brothers from across the pond say. And yes, this Friday, trust me, look out for this stuff, because if you don't know, you get caught up in it, you're in big trouble. You guys take care. Thanks for watching and stay funky.